Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer. This is Ralph Phillips. Man, what is going on with the Buccaneers? I just got the injury report not too long ago, and there's some issues. There's some issues going on. Can you change your 9 to a 4? Yes, you can, David. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? You see the injury report? Oof. Yeesh. Let me see. I'm going to try and set up. What's up, MK? All right, here we go. Sorry, I was with my daughter today. We went to the roller skating rink, and I got back late. I've been rushing to do it, get everything. Hey, what's up, B-Mont? Rampage? They're packing it in. Yep, that's how I feel, man. I know, right? A whole position group gone. Just done. They have decided they just don't want to play anymore. And you got to wonder if it's, I don't know, the treatment that White has been getting. There's no accountability, blah, blah, blah. So they're just like, well, if he's not going to play, I'm not going to play either. I'm not going to go out there and sacrifice myself. I don't know, man. I don't know. Could just be a coincidence. It's happened before. An extra position group. Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah. I mean, it's. I was expecting. I picked the Panthers to win, but mainly because we're just not playing good football. But now, yeah, it's almost guaranteed they're going to win. And they can't help but win. I mean, we're going to have not a knock on KJ Britt and JJ Russell. No knock on them. I think they're good football players, but. I mean, they're basically getting thrown in at the last minute, and it's going to be tough on them. It's going to be tough on them, and we are not the Lions or Eagles. I know, right? Yeah. Yes, I'm picking Carolina, Molly. Move Yaya to middle linebacker. Yeah, right. He's probably got pretty good coverage skills too. I would think. As long as he is, as lean. Yeah, Molly, I'm picking Carolina. Hey, how come you don't make picks? Who do you think is going to win? You think the Buccaneers are going to win? Let us know. What's up, Lawrence? The gang is here. Yeah, let me see. Green is out, number 91. He was placed on injured reserve today. He was dealing with a calf injury that he got in practice last week. That's why he didn't play in this Indianapolis game. And we saw 79 in there, O'Connor. Well, O'Connor's now been activated, and he's going to be in the rotation this week, kind of like how he was last week. He didn't get that many snaps last week, that I recall. But so Green is out. He's done. Probably done for the rest of the season. Levante David is out again. Groin. Jamel Dean out. Ankle. Foot. Devin White out. Foot. Servassier Dennis doubtful because of an illness. And so we're starting KJ Britt and JJ Russell. This is going to be tough, man. We're going to lose to the Panthers. Man, how did this happen? Move Neal to inside linebacker. Now would be a great time to try it. Exactly. 100%. 100%, David. I'm going to text Todd right now. Maybe he'll get our text this time. I think he's ignoring us. You don't like being wrong? Yeah. There's a shocker. Well, we're going to find out, David. We're going to find out what J.J. Russell and now these two started last year, week 17, right, against Atlanta. They did okay. They did all right. I remember. Tom, what's up, man? Molly's a female. She's never wrong, right? Well, that's how females think, anyway, right? Britt is not a system fit. He hasn't. He definitely hasn't performed well. Wasn't he when we first got him? Didn't we use him at outside linebacker? When he was in, they put him in rotation at outside linebacker every now and then. Maybe I'll think of somebody else. But man, yeah, I'm up with the skating rink. Molly's sending me all this information, and she sends me that where Bowles had announced that David Neal and Servassier. I was like, what is going on? I mean, you can't have that. You know. Honestly, I'm not upset Devin White's not playing. This might be a save and face thing, you know, where they're like, okay, let's say you're hurt. We've had the foot excuse going on for a while, so let's say that, and instead of benching him, they just say he's hurt. You know, which I'm not upset about that. Man, if we lose to Carolina, dudes. Yeah, he is, right? But I thought last year, the year before, when was it? We had him in rotation at outside linebacker for a couple of games. I swear. I might be thinking of somebody else. Marquis Watts fill in at middle linebacker. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Are we going to play Russell and Britt like the whole game, 100% of the snaps at inside linebacker? That could be disastrous. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Watts, Diaby, Neal, mix up the roster. That's probably what we'll do. You know, I imagine he's going to start. We're going to have some weird formations and personnel groupings out there. What's up, Lawrence? Yeah, watch the Bucs win out. I wouldn't be mad. Matter of fact, I'd be very happy about that. We should win out. We should. You know, maybe Jacksonville game. Really, Jacksonville's games only, and I don't even think they're that great. I mean, I think they're definitely beatable. Green Bay is kind of getting their crap together, looks a little bit like, but they're still beatable. We could win out. We should win out. We should. But we're not. I can't see us the way we're playing. We're just playing bad football. Yeah, we got a lot of fast guys. That's what Bowles likes, us fast guys. It's his new thing. Want fast guys. Yeah, what if Devin White has really been bringing the defense down, you know? And just with him not playing, they just go out there and start balling. Yeah, we'll probably do a lot of dime, I would think. I get what, you know, wasn't I thought there was somebody else. I thought there was a cornerback. We know Dean's out. I thought I saw somebody else on the injury report, too, as questionable. Let me see. Carlton Davis. He was a full participation. Okay. No. No, it looks like Dean is the only guy in the secondary that's going to be out. Okay. Yeah, we're going to see all kinds of crazy personnel groupings and stuff, I would imagine. My first thought when I saw just like the whole inside linebacker group gone was, oh no, the implosion is here. You know. What's up, Rampage? If we win this game, White might actually not be offered a contract by anyone. Yeah, I just can't see the Bucs bringing him back for reals. And I mean, he might get a contract somewhere out there. There's always a dumb team somewhere with money, but he's not going to get nowhere near what he wants. He's not even going to get what he's getting now. I don't think, because he's put out really bad game film the past couple years. Play Tryon an inside linebacker. Yeah, we've got a lot of guys that probably could, but you know, these inside linebackers, Bowles has they got a lot of responsibility. Who's going to call the plays? Who's going to have the green dot? If it's not going to be Devin White. Who had it week 17? Anybody know last year, week 17? Because I'm pretty sure Britt and Russell started week 17 last year. So it's probably one of them. Yeah. We're going to see a lot of outside linebackers on the field. We got like 8 outside linebackers, right? They're probably all going to be in the field at the same time. What's up, Al? Yeah, if we win this without Devin White, well, we're expected to win it. I don't know. Does anybody know what the line looks like, the Vegas line? They probably got the Buccaneers at, so it's at home, right? So they're probably just giving us home field advantage. So we're getting 3 points, 2.5 maybe. I'm going to look that up. Vegas line. $5.5? What? Hey, Sean, so what's up? Sean is here. MH. Howdy. 5.5. Wow, that surprises me. It really does. I guess they're saying because the coaching staff over there is going to be so new. They just don't know the Bucs, do they? Man, I'm thinking about putting money against the Bucs. How horrible is that? Oh, man. We're not going to have Levante David. Oh, man. Yep, 5.5. Dang. That surprises me. That's updated too, right? The 5.5 after the injury report came out. Dang, man. Run a 6-man front and play our safeties closer. Our corners should be able to cover their wide receivers. Have you seen our corners lately, Rampage? Rampage wants to lose out anyways. Yeah, whatever. Let's just put all of our outside linebackers on there. Let's put our outside linebackers as corners, as safeties, as inside linebackers. Let's just put them, because I think we got as many outside linebackers as we do defensive linemen, right? So let's put Vita as safety. Let's just really go crazy, mix it all up. Rampage, you want to lose out so that we can get a good draft pick? You got somebody in mind? This is the week to beat Vegas for sure. Should, yeah, right. That's it. Yeah, David, on paper, we should be beating all these teams, man. Man, yeah, well, this is going to be tough, man. It was bad enough losing to Atlanta, especially at the beginning of the year there. They were not playing good football. And if we lose out to Carolina, I think we should tank the season. We've got the Saints are playing. We see the Falcons are playing the Jets, right? And the Saints are playing. I should remember this. We just did this. All right, I'm going to NFL.com, so if my computer crashes, it's that website's fault. I hate their website. I always have. They've always had the worst website. Oh, yeah, New Orleans playing Detroit. It's at New Orleans, though, but that's Detroit's type of field. And then Atlanta's going to the Jets to play there. I would imagine Detroit's going to beat New Orleans. Atlanta will probably beat the Jets. So that'll put them both of them at 6-6, or Atlanta at 6-6. And if we lose, that'll put us at 4-8. We'll be 2 games behind. Man, they won't tank it. They're gonna try for this. It's gonna come down to the last couple weeks of the season to decide who wins this NFC South. We're gonna end up getting a crappy middle round pick. Ray Page wants a quarterback and an offensive head coach. That LSU quarterback sounds good. Everybody was talking about him. That was a good game last night. Y'all see that? Wasn't a single punt in that game. It's only the 6th time that's ever happened in the NFL. It was a good game, though. I wish it would have, the last series, I wish it would have stretched out a little bit longer and Seahawks could have come back and made it more of a game, but it was good. It was a good game. I liked it. Do a Google search, then click Tool, then select Pass Hour. Oh, okay. Yeah, for the Vegas lines. Not betting the points, yeah. It's they don't want to make it easy. I think DraftKings you can do straight up bets, right? Let's try Mike at quarterback and Otten at center. While you're joking, Otten at center would probably be better than what we got, or at least just as it would be as entertaining. Yeah, feet is at safety. Nobody's going over the middle. At least a very small bandwidth. He's pretty fast for his size, but I couldn't see him running guys down. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they got us with a 5.5 point spread. That's quite a hefty spread for considering our injuries. But I think and the way we've been playing. But I think it's the whole coaching change at Carolina that's got everybody skittish. Yeah, we should not have lost to Atlanta and Houston. Atlanta especially. Yeah, when we lost that Atlanta game, that's when I knew we were in trouble. Yeah, 2023, Carlton Davis is Garbo. Yeah, he did. That interception was pretty good last week against Indianapolis. I thought he did pretty good there. But yeah, right. It's like Shaq Barrett. He's not the same. Devin White. He's not the same. Vita Vea's not the same. None of these guys are playing like the 2020 guys. Yeah, we tend to think of them in the past. Baker Mayfield at middle linebacker. Right. Let's bring back the both sides football player, you know. The guys used to play offense and defense, and let's make him our kicker too. I think it'd be awesome. Let's bring that back, man. Could you imagine how much money teams would save? They didn't have these specialized players. That'd be hilarious. All right, David. What's up, Braden? 5.5 means the bookies don't know what to do. Yeah, I imagine it'll probably go down over the weekend, I would think. I would think. I can't see it being much more than 3 points. Because we hurting, man. That's just sad. It's sad. And I think the Devin White thing is a saving face. I wonder if it's his decision or if it was a medical decision, you know? Be interesting to know. But, you know, I mean, he didn't get hurt in that game. He played all the way through. You know, I think it's a saving face injury designation. So they don't have to bench him. Drake May, who's he play for, LMH? I guess I could look that up. I guess I need to start looking at quarterbacks, huh? It's so hard to get college football all 22, though, consistently. Drake, is that Arizona? Who is he? Oh, the Tar Heels. Okay. I was looking at the other guy. They had a picture of Caleb Williams up here. I was like, who is that? North Carolina. It's my neck of the woods. I had to root for him then. No. D. White is Lamar 2022 thing? You think? Contract? Yeah, we did that one time, Sean, like 2 years ago with Vita Vea. But we used him as a fullback, as a blocker. Yeah, I want to see him like the Refrigerator Perry back in the Chicago Bears. They used to use him all the time at the goal. Yep, in my backyard, man. I should probably start watching some of that college football. Plays for the Tar Heels. Huh. It's just so hard. You know, that's one of the things about why I just can't get into college football. I mean, I understand the appeal to it for sure, but to me, it's, you know, it's so hard to tell if guys are good or if their opponents are bad because you got so many schools that are just bad, you know, and defense doesn't really seem to be that good in college football all the way around, you know, so it's just hard for me to look at a guy and go, oh, he's good. Because I don't know their opponents, whether they're good or not. So, that's interesting, Al. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, the way he played against Indianapolis, and he's kind of been doing this. We've been watching it. You know, just low effort. Avoiding contact, it does seem like he's playing to not get injured. But it's not helping him. I mean, his film, other teams are going to see that. You know, and they're going to see, and this guy's going to quit on you if he doesn't get his way. Tar Heels are mid, he is elite, huh? So they don't have good receivers, good offensive line, or what? They're just blah all the way around. Ah, how about that? Trenches are not top guys. Okay. Well, good. He'd fit right in here. Buccaneers. Hey, Molly, you still on? Are we doing leftovers? Pot pie? I saw you pulled some out of the freezer. What do we got for press conferences? I want to watch this Dave Canales press conference. It's from yesterday. Y'all want to watch it? I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched the Todd Bowles press conference from today either. Jaden Daniels. Patriots they're definitely shooting for a quarterback, right? That reminds me, Al, you and Tom were talking yesterday about Belichick. His ego kind of dissuaded you from being Pat fans. What was it about? I meant to ask you yesterday, but what was it that? What was it about his ego that caused you to not like what was going on? Oh, he didn't want to re-sign Brady. Okay, yeah. I thought that was a dumb move myself too. Oh, the Larry Foot presser. Okay, we'll watch that too. Yeah, Baker's passing yards at 224.5. Has he even done that this year? That would be about the highest he's had all year, I think. Oh, we're talking about Belichick's ego.
Coach, lineman misses a block, defensive player misses a tackle, back drops, fumbles the ball, receiver drops the ball. Nobody's yelling for the backup. Quarterback turns it over once and you lose. Everybody's screaming for that guy. Is that just the nature of the beast?
Yeah, no doubt. And I think, these guys, my approach always is just going to check in with them, and you all right? You good there? Yeah, I just got to do this or that. Making sure they have an answer for their fundamental breakdown on whatever the play was. But, the guys that are doing it are the guys we trust,
187?
So for us,
was that
it's
last
just
year?
about, go to the next play and trying to have
Carolina game?
Dave, I thought you had your first drive for a touchdown.
Ah, me too. I was trying not to think about it in the moment, too. I was like, here it goes for the guys right here. Or for the people, sorry.
First and goal, though, to start a game.
For the people. Yeah.
We talked about red zone. And you go with the sneak there.
Yeah.
And then you got hurt. But just how deflating can that be?
Yeah.
What didn't go right down there?
Yeah, I try not to make.
I don't know if y'all can hear the questions or not, but he was asking how deflating it was to have Baker Mayfield get hurt on a quarterback sneak. Huh. Yeah, I didn't really follow that situation out with Brady and Belichick. It just seemed like they were, my perception of it was they were just done with each other. But yeah, I thought it was silly, but that Belichick he's always had that attitude of it's never the players, it's always him is the reason why they win. There's no player is bigger than the team or some crap like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Tom, I'm the same way. Well, I was fan of the players. Yeah, that whole Cowboys thing. That was a condition. I can't remember the owner before Jerry Jones, but that was the one condition that guy would sell to Jerry Jones, is if he would fire Tom Landry, because that guy didn't want to fire Tom Landry. So that's what I heard anyhow. Yeah, I love Tom Landry. He was awesome. He's an office coach, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dave is going to end up back in Seattle. Man. I don't want to lose Dave, though. I think he's got a lot of potential. We say we had a great practice, you're puking. I know. It's so aggravating. We had a great practice. I don't understand why everything fell apart. We practiced great. It's like, we had the best practice this week we've ever had. Yeah, that one, and we got to coach. We got to play better. And we got to coach better. Oh, that one drives me crazy. Yeah, Sean. The couple times we played Vita at fullback, one time he totally whiffed on a block, and then the other time he got a pretty good block, and I think he blocked 2 people actually for a touchdown. But yeah, I'd like to see him carry the ball. I think he was a running back or a tight end
on those scenarios, and just try to say, okay, that was one situation. We came away with points, and our biggest thing is get points, however you can in those situations. But, just being on the half-yard line, first of all, on the 1-yard line, Mike makes a great catch on the play. And we're in our tempo there. We have a play that we love.
Does Belichick have a photographic memory? I've heard rumors that he does, and that he can recall like any play from any game. You could say like, what was the play call at 3:04 in the fourth quarter of week 17 of the 2003 season? And he could tell you. One of my favorite press conferences with him was when he talked about the long snappers. A reporter asked him a question about long snappers, and he went on like this 20-minute diatribe of long snapper history. It was so cool. Right, yeah, biggest thing you should get touchdowns, not just points. Yeah, it was a great press conference. It was the first time I ever saw like Belichick's eyes light up over a question. He was like, oh, and then he just went on and gave this history lesson. I was like, well, see, y'all reporters need to just figure out what the right kind of question is to ask him.
And I thought, that Gus did a great job of subbing in that situation. He doesn't care if he gets the offsides to get the right people, and they wanted to go big in that situation. And, I understand, like, we've run the ball pretty well inside the 5 for some touchdowns recently. So, we got an extra half yard. And once we're there, I'm just like, we got to be able to get this, on the sneak. And I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know that's going to happen to Baker on that play. And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, not on a sneak, I'm like hoping he's all right, just like, on that play. But, then just finishing, the false start right there, I thought it was a really smooth I thought it was a really smooth indicator by Stinney on a normal silent cadence that we did, and so I didn't see the call, but obviously the officials are dialed in. They're looking for those types of things, and they took it as a draw offside situation. What can you do?
Okay, so they're saying, I guess he got verification from the officials that it was Stinney, and it was how you said that he smacked the center. They're allowed to do that, but apparently he did it in a way that was illegal. I have no idea what that is. I just noticed that there's this Advent Health logo has got a cross in it. Never noticed that before. Right here. You can see it's a cross. Like this. Huh. It's interesting. Now I can't help but see it. So it just like pops out at me. Huh. Maybe he's got a
But then I saw Kyle come in and really do well.
Photographic memory too. But yeah, I guess these guys, I mean, this is their job. They really, every play means something to them. It was like that movie. It's one of my favorite football movies. Everybody's All-American. When the football guy retires, he just sits there and recounts plays after play after play, So you're like, oh, okay. That's these guys' lives, so why wouldn't they be able to remember each play? I hope I'm able to remember my name at 87. Too much body movement on the slap. That would make me upset. Yeah, I couldn't even see it either. Canales is not a good leader or ready if you tell the press you hope Baker is all right. He's just an open dude. They'll beat it out of him. He'll start being a jerk after a while.
Well, he managed the run, the first run that we had, and they were offsides again on that play, and then the following, just throwing a really good ball to Chris right there, and just like inches, just being able to let his feet die and get that ball in the corner for a touchdown possibly there. So love that Kyle just went in, was just calm, he was cool, he had a great look in his eyes, and I felt like if Baker can't go, I love how he looks right now going forward with the rest of the game plan.
Yeah, Tom, the refs are full of crap. One of the things that drives me crazy is, now they got these refs in the broadcasts. They're part of the broadcast team, the ex-officials and stuff. And the way they'll justify some of these calls, it'll be pass interference or was it a catch or whatever, and it's obvious it was a wrong call. And then the ref in the booth or the broadcast will be like, well, the game happens very fast, and from the referee's angle, this was blah 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 blah, and you're like, stop justifying it. Oh, you couldn't see it because your internet was fuzzy. Yeah, I didn't see anything unusual about that tap. Sullivan Canales. I like him as a person, and I love his press conferences. Play calling, I give him a 5 out of a 10 at this point. I'm the same way. If I don't write things down, I don't remember them. I'm one of those people. My family gets so aggravated with me because I'm like a place for everything and everything in its place because I hate looking for stuff. Yeah, he does do some dumb stuff. We are watching press conferences, David. He'd be better as a cheerleader. Everything is awesome. Yeah, I haven't seen him have a bad day yet, right? Yeah, apparently, David, a lot of people are not fans of Dave Canales here. Yeah, Tom, it didn't make any sense to me. We sat here and tried to figure out on all 22 what exactly happened, and nobody could really pinpoint what the penalty was, where it happened.
Mike's a guy that every team knows he's your go-to guy.
Yeah.
They're going to look to stop him. He continually finds ways to get open. Are you just amazed he's going to his 10th year with a chance for 10 straight 1,000?
He asked about Mike Evans. He said he's our go-to guy. Every defense knows it, and he's still in his 10th year getting open and getting big plays.
Yard seasons. What is it about him that just makes him so difficult to slow down?
What is it about him that makes it so difficult to slow him down?
Yeah, it's that gamesmanship, right? And I mean, I think one of the things I've learned about Mike is in the offseason, getting a chance to kind of spend some time with them.
Oh, you're 100% right, MH. I'm just selfish in that way. Yeah, because I watch press conferences and all 22 and this stuff. I like to be entertained. Yeah, so I can't stand coach speak press conferences. They drive me crazy. But I would take that over losing. You know, I mean, if you're going to it's like Belichick. If you're going to be a boring press conference, at least win on the field, right? Yeah, I think I think a lot of the reasons why people like him is because of PR. But also, he does have a good personality. He's a good guy. But yeah, I mean, as far as play calling and gamesmanship, yeah, I don't think it's there. Not yet, anyhow. You have no idea what his name is, Tom? That sounds so much like me. I'm always, when we go places with Molly, I mean, I could like be with a group of people for a very long time and know like maybe two people's names. But every time we go to like a function or an event or whatever, I'm like, Molly, okay, stay near me. And when somebody comes up, you say their name first, so I'll know their name, because I'm absolutely horrible with names. That's hilarious. That's an interesting perspective there, David, about Todd Bowles being hesitant to change things up. He doesn't want to be more than a glorified coordinator now, huh? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, because he doesn't seem to be a take charge kind of guy, really. Well, Rampage, you're the same way. Yeah. I used to read a lot of see my memory. Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And he said something, Sherlock Holmes did. So they asked him, because Sherlock Holmes was known for his spectacular memory, like he could identify different types of ashes and say what cigar it came from and where it was manufactured and what country and what type of leaves and all that good stuff. So he was reading a newspaper, and somebody asked him who won the soccer game. And he was like, I don't know. And they were like, you just read the newspaper, didn't you? And he was like, yeah. And he said, they were like, did you read the sports section? He said, yes. And they were like, and you don't remember who won the soccer game? And he was like, no, why would I? And they were like, well, you got a great memory and you just read it. And he said, yeah, I use my memory for important stuff. He was like, your brain can only remember but so much things, so I don't want to waste it on trivial matters. And that's kind of my excuse for stuff. I'm like, it's trivia. I don't want to waste my memory brain cells on unimportant stuff. Yeah, that's a long time, Tom. A whole year. What do you when you see them? Do you just do like? Here's what I do. I go, "What's up, man?" Or "What's up, buddy?" Yeah. You're right, David. I'm the same way, Rampage. I do not. I worked on my memory back. I learned all these techniques back in the late 80s, early 90s when I was my 20s, teens, 20s. All these memory techniques, and I could use them. I mean, if I really want to remember something, I can remember it if I use these techniques. But I learned a long time ago that that's just not me I have to really put in effort to remember stuff. And if I don't write things down, I write everything down. I mean, I have a list of lists to keep track of all my lists, if that makes sense. I have lists for everything. And if I want to remember something, I write it down. And it's just how I've come to accept life. He's too embarrassed to ask. You need to grab his mail. Go check his mail one day. Ask him if you can check his mail for him and look at his the address, his name on the address. Oh, it is embarrassing to ask. I do everything, especially if you don't do it like quickly, like in the first 3 or 4 times you meet them. If you're not like, I'll normally pull the whole, look, I'm horrible at names and I apologize, but what was your name again? But if I want to remember somebody's name, if it's important to me, I'll do this little thing where I associate their name with their face and something else. It's a trick and it works great. But I just choose not to do it on everybody because I don't want to remember everybody's name. If that makes sense. But yeah, you can't, after hanging out with somebody for a year, you can't go, I wanted to ask you again, what was your name? That would be horrible. Bowles hasn't made moves to prove he wants to keep his job organized. Yeah, I agree 100%. I said benching Devin White is long overdue. You read all these books and you don't know what's in them. Yeah. Rain Man. Pay those taxes. Yeah. 100%, man. Hey, buddy. That's what I do all the time. Buddy is my go-to name. What's up, bud? What's up, buddy? I do it. I do it way too often. What's up, Jim? Yeah, I know. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, for Levante David to be gone, Mike Evans. It's just, dang, gosh, the changing of the guard, I guess. I don't know. Before you can't remember your own name sometimes. Lawrence, I'm constantly, if people ask me how old I am, I'll go, crap. And I'll have to do the math in my head. I'll be like, oh, man. And like the past few years, Molly would say it for me. People would be like, how old are you? And Molly would say it if she's there, and I would go, I am? I'm that old? Yeah. If he had the 2020 roster, he'd be hailed as the second coming. Right, I know, right? Not having Davis going to hurt you. I don't think we're going to win, Jim. I don't think so. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Buccaneers Observer dude. Yeah, pitch them, trade them, whatever it needs to do to get the team turned around. All guys are Bobby and all girls are Bobette. That sounds like some Australian stuff. It's going to be a new team. I know. It's going to be weird.
In
It's going
different
to be weird not
scenarios
having Levante.
outside of the building is he's such a gamer. Like he loves to play whatever it is. He's a competitor. He's like, whether it's cards, whether it's darts, pool, shooting around basketball, like he's good. He just kind of finds a way and he's good at everything. So that carries over to the way he plays. He sees leverage, he sees coverage, he's seen it all, and he has an adjustment
New
for
era.
whatever they
Yep.
do. And so it's great to just have a guy like that makes, pretty normal play calls look fantastic. I mean, there's, we look at the still shot on the sideline, and there wasn't anybody in the picture on his touchdown, the first one, and so love just having him over there and just giving us that ability for them. They have to go put extra people out there, and then that opens up other things for us. So Mike continues to amaze me with some of those things.
Did he do anything special to sell? Like they were trying to pass that off, right? Did he
Yeah.
did he run around in a particular way or in such a way that would cause problems for them there? Or?
That's a great question. I want to keep that kind of in-house a little bit on the adjustment, but yes, you're right on what he's looking at and how he's attacking it.
Staying on Mike for a minute,
Yeah.
Baker said that Mike is the best receiver he's ever played with.
Yeah.
They're still talking about Mike Evans. That last question was they asked about if Mike Evans did something on that route to get himself so wide open. And Canales was, of course, like, we want to keep that in-house. I'm not going to tell you the secret. But then this guy's asking if I can't remember now. See, we're talking about memory issues.
Mike for a minute.
Yeah.
Baker said that Mike is the best receiver he's ever
Oh, Baker Mayfield said that Mike is the best receiver he's ever played with. That's interesting. That's probably why Mayfield keeps throwing it to Mike.
played with.
Yeah.
You've coached a couple good ones.
Yeah.
Right, Tyler Lockett, DK. Is Mike the best receiver?
Yeah, and he played with Tyler Lockett. He played with OBJ too, right? Mayfield? DJ Moore? Did?
Yeah, I think this guy's first ballot.
Cooper Kupp? Didn't he play with Cooper Kupp last year? Or was Kupp hurt? I can't remember.
Hall of Famer. His career speaks for itself. The
Yeah,
way
to
that
God
he's
with.
able to find access and get open in any scenario.
Jim.
I would have to give it to Mike, and I don't want to take anything away from
Jim, you think Levante's going to go to another team? Or are you talking about Devin? Forgot you were 1 year older. That'll happen, man. Especially when you get older and birthdays don't really mean anything or mean as much. They kind of come and go. Probably when after I hit 30 was when birthdays just but I think the first time it ever happened to me was I think I was like 38, and somebody asked me how old I was, and I did the math, and I was like, that can't be right. There's no way I'm 38. I still thought I was like 35. It was like weird. Yeah. I think Levante's going to pack it in. Memory's getting worse, Al. Past couple of years, mine definitely has. There's no doubt about it. I can't see us keeping White. I really can't. Levante, I think he's done. Although, he's playing great. His bank account might not be ready, right? It'd be hard to turn it down. It's amazing that we're paying him so little and he's out there One of the best players on defense. I do too, Jim. Al, I never had like a good memory, you know, like recall memory. But I'm good at concepts, ideas, big things. It's like the minuscule. I like trivia. I'm horrible at trivia games. But big concepts and ideas, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of examples. But I'm always like, oh, you know, that book by that author or that movie that so and so played in. You know, it's like, but I can tell you all about the movie, the lighting, the coloring, the grading, the scenes, how it was put together, why, you know, from scene to scene, the transition, all that good stuff, you know. So I'm a big picture guy. Tap water. It's the tap water. Oh yeah, we put that up on the stream yesterday, Tom. I don't know if he was wearing a leather skirt or if it was like an Irish thing. To me, it looked like one of those Irish pleated skirts or Scottish that the Scottish wear. Jim, I'd be cool with giving him another year, but I don't know. I mean, if Bowles goes, I think Canales is going to go. So, but I don't know. Oh, David said he got the job because he figured out what we were looking for live. Woo! Metcalf is Irish? Rampage wants a clean house. Oof. It's so sad. I don't want to. What's up, Kate? Yeah, he sure did, David. He's like, he came in, he pulled the rug out from under everybody. He had all this stuff planned, and then here we are 13 weeks into the season, and I swear this offense looks like Byron Leftwich's offense. Yeah, Kate, that's exactly how I am. Yeah. And that's how, with Molly, I'm like, you know, she'll be, oh, so-and-so said hi. And I'm like, who is so-and-so? And she knows how I am. So she's like, he's the one who da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. Now I know that guy. You think he just came back to play one more year with the Bucs and then pack it in, huh? David, that's crazy. That's wild. I never thought about that with him. To me, it was so crazy that Bowles, who's been in the NFL, if you consider his playing, you know, his playing days and his coaching together, he's been in the NFL for over 30 years. And he didn't have an offensive coordinator ready on the side, you know, nobody that he could bring to play. You know, he had to pick some dude he didn't even know. I mean, he didn't know Dave Canales from a hole in the wall. So it just kind of struck me as odd. Yeah, I think you're right, Al. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm leaning toward. Clays are going to clean house. They're very good at that. Tom, it was a joke from you? No way. Hope we don't draft a kicker first round.
From Tyler.
Hey, do we think we're going to keep Light? Jason Light. Yeah, it just struck me as so strange, Kate. You know, here you go from Bruce Arians, who brought in like 300 coaches that he's known for 50 years, you know, and then Todd Bowles gets the head coaching job, and he doesn't have a single offensive coordinator friend. Yeah. Yeah, Glazers will do it in a heartbeat. I mean, they fired Tony Dungy on the way home from a playoff game. You know, it's like, they're quick to pull the trigger, and they clean house, man. They will definitely do it, and I'm leaning towards it going that way. And I think the only way Bowles could keep it is to win the division. Yeah, I don't know about Light either. I like Light. I think David doesn't, though. LMH, do you like Light? Yeah, Agoyo, he was second round, which is still way too high. That was a mess there. I thought it was funny myself, but yeah, we need our draft picks, man. We need to keep anybody that's average or above average. O.J. Howard was bad. I thought Cutter. I thought Cutter used him well. Rampage is ready to move on from him. Okay, so MH, Rampage, David. Yeah, I think Gay was third or fourth. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, David, if they just totally clean house. New house, new history. Yep. Because this NFC South is just right there for, it's up for grabs. If we don't get it, they're going to be like, yeah, they're never going to have a division title that easy to get, and to not get it, they're going to be like, yeah, it can't get much worse than that. I mean, you can, but they're not going to see it that way.
Tyler, Doug Baldwin, DK, who are fantastic players, and this is a guy who kind of puts it all together, and he's 6'5" with that length, and then, we've seen in games too where he can just flat out run by guys still at this point, so he really does have it all, yeah, hopefully I answered that.
There's a majority of your touchdowns this year. Do you need other guys to kind of step up?
Look at his eyes. He's just like,
balance things out a little bit more.
Absolutely. Love a couple of those games where, Cade had the 2 touchdown game, and, Rashad's starting to find the end zone in his own ways, and would look just, again, like we're talking about it again, but I would love to just get Chris going, and find the things that he does well, find the right, coverage attacks to put him in the right spots.
I noticed
that's
the skull.
Something that I'm going to keep battling
cool.
To do, because I love Chris and what he's about, and I really believe in the guy, so.
House is also a great 80s horror movie. Lawrence, it was supposed to pop up with a little thing that was like, hey, membership. It didn't do it, though. Appreciate it, brother. Rampage. House is also a great 80s horror movie. That's funny. I get it now. Right. That's the thing, Lawrence. I hate calling for coaches to be fired. I really do. Because it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. All that good stuff. And unless there's a coach in mind, it's a horrible idea to fire a coach. It's like the worst time to look for a job or to look for a new or better job is after you get fired from your last job. You should be looking for a job while you've got a job, because the chances that you're going to find a good job after you get fired is pretty slim. And then you're desperate and you end up just picking up whatever you can get. I guarantee you after the Atlanta game, the Glazers started putting feelers out for their next coach. So hopefully they'll find somebody. But again, just like with quarterbacks and free agents, we just don't seem to have very good luck with our head coaching searches. Al, I don't think Bowles really works on game plans as much. I mean, I agree with you. He doesn't recognize teams' weaknesses and their strengths and all that good stuff. Because I've been watching his defenses for years now, and it's rare if he plays towards the team he's playing against. You know what I'm saying? It's just he does like the same stuff every game, not in the sense that he does the same plays, but he does the same mixture. I don't see like game plans with him like I do with other coaches. Take a shot every time he says, "Yeah, we'd be drunk." He's always like, "Yeah, yeah." He gets excited too. He's like, "Yeah, he got the big eyes." Yeah, especially with this ownership, Kate. I mean, they're masters at mystery. You never know what they're going to do, who they're talking to. They are very, very secretive business people. Wouldn't that be horrible, David? But then again, somebody said it a couple weeks ago, and it just cracks me up. Bill Belichick will come to Tampa and win us a Super Bowl just to prove that it wasn't Tom Brady. To be the show what he could do exactly what Tom Brady did. That would be funny. Oh, Harbaugh? Yeah, I'd be cool with that. Molly really likes Harbaugh. I like Jim Schwartz. I think I'm the only person on the planet that likes Cliff Kingsbury. I'd be cool with Harbaugh. And I'm sure I need to start looking into coaches. But my top pick out of all those would probably be Schwartz. I've been wanting him for years. Actually, ever since he got fired from Detroit. I thought that was a dumb firing. Bowles is sent to keep teams down. Dang. Who sends him? David's in here going to bat for him. Doing a good job, David. Doing the Lord's work. Oh, that's right, Tom. You got your college on. You still watching the Buccaneers too, so you are a glutton for punishment. Please. I know. That's how everybody's either like really likes Harbaugh or can't stand the idea of it. It's like, no. Oh man, that's why Lawrence. You got to get a wife like me So, like when you first start dating, you'd be like, all right, here's the deal. I'm a Buccaneers fan, so I'm going to complain all the time. And like from October to January, I'm just going to be a negative mess. She gets a large dose of why the Bucs suck, or what's wrong with this team, like daily. We have long conversations about it. This is a football AA group. I'm going to change the name to football AA group. Lovie Smith is available. Oh, no. Man, what do y'all think about what he did at Houston? I think that torpedoed his chance of ever being in the NFL again. A GM from the Eagles or Ravens scouting departments. Slowick, Harbaugh, or Schwartz. Yeah. That all sounds good to me, Rampage. That's the thing with bowls, I mean, it's like if I would have had to pick 20 head coaching candidates, Bowles wouldn't have been in the top 20. I mean, just because of a losing record, There's nothing I saw when he was the head coach at the Eagles where I went, or the Jets. I was like, he's a really good head coach. Shorts wouldn't survive the sideline heat. It is hot in Florida, man, I tell you. I couldn't hang with Florida guys. I'm sorry. The heat. I can't handle the heat. I mean, I like physically would just have no energy. I was just like, I can understand why Latin Americans take siestas, because that's all I wanted to do. Midday was sleep. It's like, oh man, this heat is too much. Lovey manages the offense too much. Yeah. Yeah, it did work out good for the Texans. That was just happenstance, though. That's mainly because Panthers are a bunch of bumbling idiots. I bet they were freaking out when the Panthers moved up. They were like, oh, no, they're going to pick C.J. Stroud. Yeah, it was that last game, David, though, where he like purposely won it and took Houston out of the first pick overall. That owner was mad. And Lovey was on the sideline smiling when he did it. It was like, oof. Yeesh. Schwartz's record is worse than Ball's? Yeah, but that's different. I don't know. You're probably right. But what I saw with Schwartz was the team was getting better, I felt. John Gruden, I would love it just because it would be such a wild mess. Yeah, that was probably Lovey's argument. I knew the Panthers were going to move up in the draft and pick some random quarterback that was no good. You got your sons for that? I bet they love. That's how my daughter is. She came downstairs, I think it was Sunday evening, and was like, asked my wife. She was like, did the Buccaneers win or lose? And Ma was like, they lost. And she was like, well, why is Dad in a good mood? That's strange. Oh yeah, no, Rampage. Yeah, they ripped down that his name off the Ring of Honor. There's no way. they would even invite him back to the stadium, let alone to be head coach. But you never know. I mean, it's football. Anything could happen. 2-14. Defense went downhill without Gay stats. He retired very unceremoniously. Petition to bring back Chucky. That would be hilarious. You know the fan base would be down for it. You could probably get 1 million signatures. People that weren't even Buccaneer fans would sign that just to see the kerfuffle it would cause. Oh, I thought he was great. He was really what we needed at the time for sure. But I like him as a person, not so much as a head coach anymore, because I really saw how, I mean, he's got an ego too. And he's definitely of the mindset that he doesn't want anybody on the football team to have a bigger name than he does. Dungy, maybe, yeah. I don't know. That'd be wild. Dungy's looking rough. Oh yeah, never let Chucky draft. He's the worst. Not very good at player evaluation. Yeah, he draws the ticket sales, man. But of course the Glazers would have to put up with him calling them out all the time. Because he would too now. Yeah, he was horrible at quarterback evaluations. Yeah. Jeff Garcia. Oof.
Games you've used Durham more.
Yeah.
Made a big play for you.
Durham, yeah.
What is behind that, and what are you expecting to see develop from him?
Yeah, so just seeing like huge confidence growth in Payne. I think that comes with just his level of comfortability in the calls. And
I thought Payne Durham had a great game last week. Yeah, Lawrence, it'd be a great. I think it'd be so entertaining if Gruden came back. Imagine if the Glazers just had to do it. If like the whole fan base was just like, we're going to boycott if you don't bring back Gruden. Any outstanding offensive coordinators? I don't know. That's what I was just saying. I need to start on the lookout. Start looking at guys. I don't want a college coach. Harbaugh's the only one I would say to bring it back up from college. But that's only because he's got NFL experience. I just don't want to go through the college coaching stuff again. But yeah, I'm going to start looking at some game film and looking at some coaches. Who's got an interesting offense that we like? Kiffin and Monty. I think everybody's ready for a offensive-minded coach. Kiffin he's doing good in college, right? Lions offensive coordinator in Houston is, yeah, Schwerrick or whatever his name is from Houston. Mike Martz. His son's probably coaching now, right? Yeah, I watched the postseason for you. Yeah. Yeah, Andy Reid would be awesome. He's just always been a very dynamic coach. His play calls have just been always just really fun. Yeah, we paid a crap ton for John Gruden, man. I mean, at the time, it was by far the biggest coaching deal in NFL history. He just... I was looking at somebody's coaching tree the other day. It was quite impressive. Dang it, I can't remember who. Speaking of bad memory. But it included Mike Shanahan. Or maybe it was Mike Shanahan. Nah. But Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, all the new guys. McDaniels was in there. Right, yeah, that's a good point, Al. Unless we get a high draft pick and we can, they can all agree on a quarterback to get. Yeah. Yeah, if we lose to the Panthers this week, man, there's a good possibility we're just going to go, let's shoot for that draft pick. But, looking at New Orleans and Atlanta and how close we are to them, and the games that we got left, it's going to be all division games basically, and it's going to come down to the last 2 or 3 weeks before the division title is out of reach. And so we're probably going to fight all the way till then. Which stinks. Because we're going to take ourselves right out of a good draft pick.
And now it's like, one of the things we talked about was, okay, you know what? That's the play call. You know why? Because of this coverage or that. And then the how, the little details of his blocks. He did a fantastic job in protection last week. And then finishing his routes, catching the ball, and really giving us another big target for Baker to give him that ball in that situation. The guy was in great position, but he showed that in college, his ability to play big to the ball. And I think the side story.
Yeah, we got a 7th right now. And if we could lose out, we could probably be in the top 5. The new Brandon Staley, yeah. Yeah, right. Right. How much of that is Slowick and how much of that is the quarterback? 7 gets us a quarterback. That's interesting. I was just getting ready to ask that, LMH. Where are the quarterbacks going to fall? Because this is supposedly a quarterback-heavy draft. A lot of teams aren't going to pick a quarterback, right? Yeah, what if ownership? I mean, I'm sure they're not going to do this, but what if they told Bowles, we're not going to fire you if we get a high draft pick? Tankathon has us having a quarterback. Really? Do they say who? Who's the best draft people out there? Predictors and prognosticators, analysts. Who do y'all think? David does not want a quarterback in the draft. Kate wants Jaden Daniels. Okay. We were talking about that earlier, Kate. Quite a few people. He's LSU, right? There aren't any. Caleb is number 1, no argument. Okay. So we don't want the number 1 draft pick, do we? Or do we? Could we even get it? Who's in number 1 right now? Panthers? They'd have to win like 3 more games. 4? We'd have to lose to them twice. We could do that. We won't get it. Yeah. David wants to go for a top center. I want to get a bulldog Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Like an OSU guy. They got good linemen, right? Well, that's right. The Panthers sold it to the Bears. I can't help but laugh every time I think of it. That's how you know they're not purposely trying to lose. They're just straight up that bad of a team because they have nothing to gain. As a matter of fact, they're just helping the Bears by getting the high draft pick. Oh, God, that is so funny. Who couldn't have to a better team? Bears will take Caleb and trade off Fields. Now, what about Fields? What if we could get him? Kate doesn't have a lot of confidence in Caleb. He's bust material. That's what a couple people said. I think Tom was saying that. He just reminds him of a bust. That's how it is anymore, Rampage. Got to get a quarterback. You just got to, in today's NFL, teams just don't win with mediocre quarterbacks, you know, or game managers like they used to be able to. You don't think it'd be wise, Al? You don't like Fields, or definitely probably not an upgrade in being a pocket passer. But he was a great runner last year. David, who would you like at quarterback? Give us your top 3 free agent quarterbacks. Play Kyle Trask the rest of the season. A lot of people are saying that. That's the risk not taking Caleb. Yeah. It's the whole C.J. Stroud conundrum, right? Play some young guys, get ready for next season. I'm almost to that point. If we lose to Carolina, I'm going to be to that point.
Story too is like, with this confidence in him knowing what he's doing, like his personality, he really is a fun guy to be around. And we're seeing a lot more of that in the last couple of weeks out of him.
He's talking about Payne Durham.
It's just, I really do expect him to give us a better pass attack when we're in 12 personnel, to give us a little more variety where we can stay out there and do some things.
You know what was impressive to me about Minshew, David, was his play action. He really got us quite a few times with his play action. It must be very hard to see or do. He was very good at disguising.
His catch, because that could have been a pick.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. That was incredible, to take it off his head, and was hoping for one step more he can get in, but we ended up finding a way to score there. But, yeah, fantastic effort play right there, and Baker showing trust that he could make this throw if I throw it out there.
White was a 100-yard rusher in
Yeah.
Indianapolis, and getting him into space ended up being a huge thing, as it has been for the whole season. So,
Yeah.
do you think, looking at that and going forward, that this is going to be a continuing upward trend with the run game and how it's been improving?
I certainly hope so. We're always hoping for those big games to control it from the run game. It opens up a lot more things for us in the play actions and some of the screens and things that we do there.
Jameis Winston.
But I think it's a testament to a couple of things. First of all, talk about the offensive line and how well they've been playing together, particularly in the run game for about a month now. I know we haven't had the big yardage that you would love to see, but it all starts with them. It starts with Hainsey getting us directed the right way, which he's doing a great job, and then just like seeing Cody's growth, especially over the last couple of weeks, and Stinney, of course, doing a great job. So that group really, and then Rashad trusting what's happening up front. I thought it was his just best disciplined run game that he had of the year, in terms of just
I would agree with
pressing the runs the right way to force the defense into those combo blocks, and that's where we're seeing that all come together. And now the pass game, we were just a little bit.
That's interesting. Let me go. I want to hear that again. He was saying that running back, he wants the running back to force the defenders into the combo blocks. That's interesting.
Force the defense into those combo blocks, and that's where we're seeing the run game that he had of the year, in terms of just pressing the runs the right way to force the defense into those combo blocks, and that's where we're seeing that all come together. And now the pass game, we were just a little bit sloppy last week, and that's the part that really needs to come together for us as well, to be able to finish these drives, get us into field goal range, and some of those things we're really continuing to try to detail out some of those things, spending a little extra time.
I'm the most excited thing I am about Penix is I can't wait to hear the broadcasters because you know it's going to be a disaster at some point. They're going to slip up with his name. It's going to be hilarious. Penix to the tight end. Minimum $20 million. Yeah, it's not bad, Al. All right, brother. Lawrence, you out? You got the night shift? Cheap for 4 years. Oh, I don't want to do that anymore, Al. Oh, the Cowboys? I do not know. Yeah, Kate. That's what I like about Dave is he does really good press conferences. You learn a lot. Oh gosh, yeah, I can't stand Bowles's. We got to coach it better and execute better. Yep. Jimmy G still better than Baker. Huh. Yeah, $20 million for a quarterback though. That's like cheap money anymore, right? Better have a bridge quarterback for that price. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of Fields either. I just threw that out there to see what everybody else thought. Kirko Chains. Is that a real name?
Time during walkthroughs and practice to just get the landmarks perfectly where we want them as we go forward.
That's a real guy.
Cody's growth might have been his best game so far, right, on Sunday.
Yeah.
In what area specifically has he taken the biggest step forward? Is it just not being as inconsistent, or is it just hand placement technique?
Yes, hand placement and footwork. It always starts there, right? So what are my feet? What's the call? What type of run is it? What's my first step? What's my second step? And then can I keep my hands tight and target my hand and my helmet the right way?
Kirk
And
Cousins.
that's where his
I'm all like
discipline
looking
is
up.
really
I'm like
growing,
Kirko Chains
for the last 2 weeks now, because he really had a fantastic game against the Niners against another really good player. So here we go. We throw him right at at Armstead.
He's talking about
2
Cody
weeks
Mock
ago.
here.
Then Buckner, his twin, right? Remember they had both of
Armstead
those guys
destroyed
played them in Seattle
Cody
for
Mock.
a couple years, but really
Like
holding
all
his
game.
own there. And it all started with his
Yay.
technique and his pad level. So I love where he's headed, and that's the guy that we were hoping for, and why we just said, he's struggling, but we're going to stay with him. We're going to stay behind him and continue to just pour in and develop, as we keep that mentality for our whole group.
Okay. So we finally he's struggling. That's the first time I've heard him say, Cody Mock. Yeah, he got destroyed by Armstead. But last week was his best game, I thought. And I don't know if it's because the Colts just didn't field a very good defensive line. But I would be encouraged if he's getting better. Dave says he is, but Kirko Chains, yeah. I'm all like, wow, that's a name? I'm all looking it up on Pro Football Reference. I typed it in. And I look over, it's like Kirk Cousins. You got me. Al, I don't know. It's amazing to me that they've kept him in. But, he did have a pretty decent game last week. It wasn't a good game. It just wasn't horrible. Well, if the Colts had a good D-line and they were playing good, then Mock did all right. But we had our best run game against them. He actually just did okay. Okay, well, then there we go. Maybe he is getting better. Maybe something clicked with him.
Take me through your thought process during the game.
Yeah.
If something works early,
Yeah.
do you kind of mark it and say we can go back to it? And
Yeah.
if something doesn't work, Do you just line it out?
Yeah, and
So he asked there, he said, take me through your game process. If something works early, do you mark it and save it for later? And if something doesn't work, do you take it out? That was the question.
and then the hard part for me as a play caller is the ones that work, those are easy, right? Circle that one. Okay, let's get back to that. Great conversations with Goody and Joe happening with the run game. Then I got all the pass guys, giving me their thoughts for their areas. So there's good talk going. The hardest one is when something doesn't work, it's if we look at it and say, why didn't it work? Well, is it a scheme thing where they got us on this play, let's get away from it?
Yeah.
Or is it,
good
no,
thinking.
we just missed this block, or
we're
he
gonna
just
do Goody
didn't
next.
press it right, and that's where for
Or,
me I
Larry
got to go,
Foote.
okay,
Larry
what do you
Foote.
think, guys? And they got to talk me out of going away from it and say, hey, come back to this. It still looks good. We got it fixed. And then I go, okay, so let's keep it alive for a little while there.
Now, see, that was interesting because that's what I think has happened to him too much is he's too quick to just abandon plays or concepts if they're not working right away. And he just kind of admitted to that.
Say,
He
hey,
said,
come back to this. It still looks good. And that's where for me I got to go, okay, what do you think, guys? And they got to talk me out of going away from it and say, hey, come back to this. It still looks good. We got it fixed. And then I go, okay, so let's keep it alive for a little while there.
So he uses his assistants as advisors. He mentions that a lot.
You're in a tough business.
Yeah, completely abandoned the bootleg. Although we did move the pocket around a lot last week.
In the tunnel. Your family's not.
Yeah.
Or moved
You know,
Baker
you're
around
in
a
a
lot.
community, and
Yeah.
there's always going to be dissatisfaction. So when you get to this point where it's like, wow, they have to win this week, or wow, this guy could get fired. Like, how do you process that? How do you let your family?
I don't know,
process that?
Kate.
What's that like for a coach? When
You would hope
it's
that's
not
how it
going the way you
works,
hoped it
but
would at this point?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question
According to-
because this is the first time where really
according to Dave, that's how he works. So that's a good thing to hear, right? And I like how he takes player input too. He's a very good people person, I think. He's a very good social guy, which, football's a lot about that.
really, my wife and my kids, they go to school and they got a bunch of friends who watch Bucs football. They're Bucs fans, and whether it's the sport teams or whatever. And usually people are pretty gracious, but kids can be brutal. So we're learning about that, and then we really just take an honest approach to it, And like my daughter, she's 13, but she really.
Did he just say his kids were getting bullied in school because the Bucs are playing so bad? I think that's what his message was there. Oh, that's sad. Oof. Yeah, as a person, Kate, I really like him. I mean, his personality, his character, he's very optimistic. And I really like his press conferences because you do learn, he talks. And I'm going to hate to lose that. But at the same time, he's still got a ways to go as an offensive coordinator when it comes to actual scheming and planning, play calling. Your dad is as bad as Byron. It's like the ultimate burn. I feel bad now. Oh, his kids are getting picked on. Oh, welcome to being a rich coach's kid, right? Yeah, I guess I shouldn't feel too bad for him living in his multi-million-dollar house. Yeah, I think he's going to be a great offensive coordinator someday. He's just in the learning process right now. It's hilarious.
She really knows football pretty well, and she knows when we're playing. Like
now
my
we're
daughter,
talking
she's 13.
His 13-year-old daughter. This is going to be horrible, I bet.
But she really knows football pretty well, and she knows when we're playing good or not. And so we.
And right now she does not like me because I'm the uncool dad. It's high hopes.
We've had these honest conversations, and also just like as we watch other teams play and they're struggling, and somebody wants to be critical, you just got to be like, hey, let's not throw a rock in this glass house of ours here, okay? This is a team that's trying really hard. There's a group of coaches who are working their tails off. These players, they're putting their bodies out there on the line. So let's appreciate that because we're in that similar situation. So we just try to be honest about that with our players and not try to sugarcoat anything. And he's like, Dad, this boy said you suck, at school. And I was like, sometimes not though. I feel like, there's some good calls in there too. Hopefully he's not just looking at all the bad ones, but being able to be light about it, I think is important. But yeah, thanks for asking that, because that definitely is something that is new for us to handle,
That is so wild. You don't think about that with these guys, especially the coaches. Their kids probably take the brunt of the criticism because these guys are kind of protected. They might read it in the media or something like that, but they're not having like their cohorts or their peers coming up to them on a daily basis and saying, you suck. Oh, man. The poor kids are like, your dad sucks. He's worse than Byron Leftwich. Yeah, right. Every player and team works hard, right? Whew. Just like everybody's hurt. Everybody plays hurt. Can't use that as an excuse. He has to bring his kids into it. This is hilarious.
How's Todd Bowles doing? How's he doing during this rough stretch?
He asked how Todd Bowles is doing. How's he doing in this rough stretch? They know they can't ask Todd Bowles because he ain't going to give them an answer. So they're going to try and get something out of Dave here. Let's see how he plays this. This is politics we're watching now.
Same guy. And that's one of the things I think we talked about, what I'm grateful for. Same guy. He attacks the things we need to work on. He focuses on the basics, the fundamental parts of it. And then he recognizes that these guys are playing really hard. There's no quit in our team. They're going for it. There's just things that need to be shored up and fixed. Well, let's just address it. Let's just attack it head on. And then he just kind of stays really steady with us. And that's what I appreciate about working for him. He's just been so steady through this whole thing.
Facing a Carolina team that's changed coaches this
Yeah.
week. Do you have to kind of go in with a look that, hey, we might see something different that they've shown for 11 weeks prior?
I don't think I do. Just Ajero Evero, he's a coach that I've coached against, for a bunch of years when he was in San Fran, then he was in L.A. He was the D coordinator in Denver. We played them first game last year. And he's got a really good system. And this is a good defense, and I think that it's.
Is he talking about their defensive coordinator? I didn't hear the question. I thought he was just asking generally if the Panthers were going to play different than they have the past 11 weeks. So Chris Tabor is their head coach. That's who's taken in. Did he say Evero? Because that's their defensive coordinator. So that's who he's referring to. Oh, Tabor was a special teams coordinator. Wow. Don't get that often. Wow. Huh. So they got Jim Caldwell and Don Capers are both there as assistants. Chris Tabor was the special teams coordinator. Huh.
The longer they're out there, the more teams are able to find things against them and wear them down. But
you know that, David, I was just going to comment on that. There's no quit in this team. And then 45, Devin White's out there purposely getting blocked up and doing arm tackles at weird angles. What's up, Craig? Glad you showed up. We are talking about head coaching candidates. That has been the question of the day. Who are we going to get as our next head coach? And where are we going to draft? MH, you think they're going to play hard? You think they're going to come out and punch us in the mouth? That's what I'm expecting. I think they're going to be fired up and wanting to prove a point, because they have it doesn't do them any good to have a bad record, because they don't have a first round draft pick. So they're 1-9 or 1-10 because they're a bad team, not because it's beneficial to them in any way. So I think they're going to want to come out and just punch us in the face. And I don't think we're ready for it. We might just collapse, man. Craig, you got any head coaching candidates that you'd like us to get?
I see a really good front. I see a great system, especially like when you look at third down.
He's talking about the Panthers defense here.
Some of the things he does to put guys in position, it makes it really hard on an offense. And so I don't think I would imagine he would do much different based on, I think he believes in the system of what they're doing. And so hopefully that answers that.
Coach, you mentioned getting Chris Godwin going.
Yeah.
He's had a track record of success.
Yeah.
He hasn't really had that high-end production this year. What ways do you get him more involved? Could that be maybe getting him in like the slot position more?
How can we get Godwin more involved?
I think if you look at our film, he's in the slot a lot. So even though he's technically
he just called that guy out. He was like, I think if you look at the film, you'll see that Godwin's in the slot a lot. That's hilarious.
Z receiver, we have ways in our different 1x3, 2x2 builds where we are getting him in the slot on some opportunities. I'm just betting on the guy. I'm betting on how he's wired and made up and the way he works every day, that he's going to find his way to continue to work through the things.
That was
and then also that Baker's going to
report.
continue to learn how to throw to this particular player, But I think, I've said it up here a lot of times, but it's, we start the pass game with Mike and Chris. And so continuing to build those things that way, and hopefully the coverages that we're getting allow the ball to find him a little bit more. Okay, thank you. Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Did you get your pumpkin cheesecake?
I did. Yeah. It's,
They were asking him about cheesecake there at the end. I don't know what that was all about. I guess they had cheesecake in the conference room or something. Okay, somebody said Larry Foote had a press conference. Here we go. 7 minutes. We got this. Yeah, that was funny, Al. He was like, the guy was like, "Is there some way you can get Godwin more involved? Maybe put him in the slot?" Canales beat him down real quick. If you look at the game film, that's funny. Oh, I like that. I like that hoodie. Larry Foote looks like he's going to punch somebody in the face. He's going to kick you in the throat and take your lunch money. That's what he looks like. He looks angry. He's going to get out there and call some people out. I wouldn't mind us getting some ex-Bucs in the front office, I mean, we've got one in there, Shelton Quarles. And you could say Rondé is kind of part. He does the film room, so he's staying there. I'd like to see him get more work. Is he doing broadcasting anymore? Does anybody know? I don't think so. I can't recall the last time I heard Rondé call a game. I haven't really thought about it, but I'd like to see him get up in the front office. Now he's left wage. I've been waiting for that, man. I figured by this time of the year, when we're starting to stink it up, The bad side of him was gonna start coming out. He's still hanging in there though. I don't know, Rampage. It is so weird what's going on with Godwin. But, we're looking on the all-22, and none of these guys are getting open. It's not like they're consistently standing there wide open and Mayfield just isn't seeing them. They're just not getting open. But a lot of it has to do with these routes. I mean, the routes are not very inventive. Let's put it that way. A lot of basic stuff, and some of it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, Dolphins get hit a lot off the ball, and they're wide open all the dang time, too. It's like Travis Kelce, Cooper Kupp. These guys, they don't have to fight for the ball. They're open. Yeah. We don't do that. Any bad coach is going to be labeled as a left witch. It's like, oh, man, he's pulling a left witch. What, MH, does he have like an official role there? I mean, is he part of the admin or front office or anything, or is he just the film guy? David, as far as now, see, what about Rondé as a GM? Just throwing that out there. I just want to get him involved in the team somehow. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Craig. I was surprised we kept our offensive line coach. Yeah, sometimes. A lot of it has to do with about them being open. From what I'm seeing, it doesn't look like they're getting open on their own accord. It's generally, holes in coverage or busted coverage or whatever. Or it is on the backside and the cornerbacks are not even really covering them hard. But yeah, having them as third or fourth reads all the time. I think having Mike as the first read just about every play is it's kind of just hampering everybody because, like you said, Mayfield just doesn't go through his progressions. So he's lucky if he gets to the third progression. Brain says no. Heart says yes. Brain says no. Yeah, you never know. Look at Larry Foote. He looks so angry. Defenses know Mayfield will never get there. He sure doesn't, man. I'd like to see him do more of a field scan and then go back, just a real quick scan, but he doesn't even do that. I mean, he snaps the ball. It's kind of like what Jameis would do. He snaps the ball, zones in on a guy, and sits there and he watches him, looks at the coverage, and then if he doesn't see it, he goes to the second guy, and then he just dumps it off. I'd like to see a real quick scan, in case, somebody falls down, a cornerback falls down or whatever, or guys end up wide open, chunk it to him. He looks like a thumb. Oh, I can't not see that now. Angry thumb, too. Whew. Oh, he's way late. Yeah. Mayfield. He aggravates me with that. His expectations, throwing the ball before receivers are open is just few and far between. He's way late with his throws a lot. I was anxious, David. I was anxious after he got his LASIK surgery to see how he would play, because he definitely had vision problems. So who would we want as GM now? Anybody got any ideas? That's I don't have a clue. I don't have anybody in mind. Better as a coach. I bet he would make a great coach. How about a cornerbacks coach? That would make sense, right? Did his health issues on the Saints start when Devin White forced collardy? His knee blew out. Was that the start of his health issues? I like that hoodie. He's asking about Servassier.
Did a good job. Played under control for the most part. There's a couple times he looked like a rookie. Typical linebacker stuff, don't guess, read your keys, anticipate. But he did a good job. He plays under the control. When you watch him, you can see the game is not too fast for him, and that's encouraging.
At the same time, he's the rookie out there. Right. He's the guy that really recognized that 4th and 1 play action pass and saved the touchdown.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on his recognition, football IQ, etc.?
Well, he has that coming in. We knew he was
That's
above the neck type of player. I want more.
He's an above the neck type of player. He's talking about Servassier. That's interesting. Yeah, he was the only one that picked up on that 4th and 1 play. He just happened to be on the wrong side of the field. He did stop a touchdown there. Yes, Rampage, 100%. Can't do it. Electric razors are garbage. I use a straight razor or I forget what they're called. The old school. I think they're straight razors. I've actually got the old school that you got to sharpen yourself. I don't use it though. But yeah, I hate electric shavers. I just can't get a close shave with them. Yeah, I've never seen Barber run plays as a coach either. It'd probably be too weird, Kate. Would he take the demotion? That's the thing. And would he be okay with it? Because he was quarterback coach at Seattle, so it would have just been a lateral move. They might keep him. You never know. So I bet ownership really likes him. Yeah, that's what I think too, Dave. Yeah, Craig, it would definitely be up to the new coach they bring in. And then if the ownership was like, okay, you can get this job, but you got to keep this offensive coordinator, then that just makes things weird. Grow that beard out and use a real razor, right? Use an axe. That's what I use. I shave with an axe. I trim my stuff with a little hatchet. Manual, minimum 3 blades. Yeah, they didn't have electric razors. They didn't have electricity back when I was young. Back when I shaved. Does it make you itch, Rampage? Is that what you don't like? Thank you, David. I need to do more with it, like put oils in it, but I don't. I got the baby, and she's always grabbing my beard and stuff. I don't want her hands to get all oily. I shape it a little bit every now and then, but generally I just let it go. But yeah, Rampage, if facial hair like itches and stuff, put oils on it. Takes it away just like that. Yeah, conditioner and oils. Yep, how much? That's a good point, Kate. But has he ever developed a rookie quarterback? He was there for Russell Wilson as a rookie, right? But he wasn't in charge of it. I think at that point he was like the assistant to the wide receivers coach or something. But yeah, I'd like to keep, if we could keep Canales, I'd be cool with it. Don't think it'll happen though. Oh, get stuck in your shirt sitting down. Sometimes it pulls, yeah. All right, David. We shall see you for Victory Monday, hopefully. That's true, Kate. And I think the only thing I would say is that we're not getting enough out of Baker. I think David's scared. It's his first job as an offensive coordinator. And he's kind of restrained Mayfield a little bit, I think, from what I think Mayfield is good at, But I don't know. I like Canales as a person. I want to see him develop. I think he's going to be good. He's not there yet. We got too many guys on this team that are in development. That includes coaches. Most first-time offensive coordinators are risk it, no biscuit. Yeah, and like Al says, there's probably a lot of Bowles, too. Bowles is probably pressuring him a little bit because Bowles is not a risky. He wants the offense to be an extension of the defense. The offense's job is to score points and keep the ball as long as they can so the defense can rest. That's how I'd be if I was an offensive coordinator, man. I'd just be lighting things up. Of course, I say that, but Rampage is done with Baker. Yeah, he's definitely not elite. He's got his flaws. Like Michael Floor, I can be good with that. Yeah. Well, how many quarterbacks are going to go in the first round, and how far down do we need or can we be to get a good quarterback?
More of that.
Anybody
of him,
got
I know
interest in that?
He's a rookie, and there's a lot of leadership in
Still
that
talking
room,
about
but
Servassier.
At this point, be more assertive. If you see something, tell the guys and just jump in.
I can't get over seeing this cross in the Advent Health thing now. It just like pops out to me once I saw it. It's like they did that on purpose. That's not an accident. And it's done. It's definitely like a cross. It's not like an X. Because these two are shorter. And this is short, but then this is long. It's interesting.
And the older guys will embrace that, and he's smart. So I think guys already respect him from that standpoint. So they're
Ryan
ready
Greasy,
to listen.
yeah.
But I'm just encouraging him. Just you ain't got to take on the rookie role.
Kurt Warner,
be vocal out there, but it was good to hit.
That's interesting. I watch his play breakdown. He's got a channel where he does all 22 breakdown, and he's not a very good public speaker, and I don't know how he comes across very robotic. But I think guys would respect him because of what he's done. So it'd be interesting. Be interesting to see if he could make the transition. 5 to 7 quarterbacks in the first round. Now all those are going to be good, right? So we got at least 4. So if we're in the top, right now we're at 7. So if we're in the top 5, we'll be able to get a quality quarterback. You don't want Harbaugh? That's the only one? Is it personal reasons or because of his coaching stinks? 1 to 2 may be decent. Oh. Well, that's not good.
Heads up play, Brian.
I want a franchise quarterback.
A veteran missed 2 days with illness during the week. We wouldn't think as much of it. But has he missed enough already this week where you can't think of him as the guy for Sunday, or could you still go to him?
It's day to day. We don't know. Coach Bo's got to make that decision. I'm definitely talking to him. I tried to coach him up this morning. And,
Still talking
he's a little
about
below the weather,
Cervasi.
but I'm giving him the game plan. He'll be up to par from a mental standpoint, and Coach Bo's got to make that decision if he is available for us on Sunday.
How difficult has it been? You guys have had several, right? You mentioned the 4th down play. When there's those busts, right? It's one guy, not the same guy. Just how difficult is it as a coach that these guys have these breakdowns from game to game?
It's frustrating.
There you go. What about Peyton Manning? Get him as a head coach or a GM even. That'd be awesome. Harbaugh's got that old school mentality. Yeah. You want something fresh. I think the NFL's going that way, you know. I think you kind of have to go the fresh coach route, the new school, the McDaniels and LaFleur's and McVay type coaching, which is what we were supposed to get with Canales. And we could, it's kind of a little bit, it's a little different, but man, we're getting a lot of Byron Leftwichy stuff. Most important qualities in a head coach to me are quarterback expert and play caller. See, to me, the most important thing in a head coach is leadership and people manager. I actually don't like head coaches that are play callers, but it seems like most of them are. A lot of the good ones are too, but I don't like it. I like the head coaches that can focus on the game, and pay attention to the little things like clock and flags and keep everybody in line. I mean, I'm not adverse to any of it, but my preference is a guy who stands there and manages. Arch Manning, yeah. Yeah, he's going to be a monster. Jaden might be Keller. Bo Nix and Penix might be as bad as Will Levis. I want the first 3. Who were the first 3, Al? Did you say that already? And we are all over the place with head coaches and quarterbacks. That's why they make Cadillacs and Fords. Kate likes development in her coaches. That's some Tony Dungy stuff right there, man. Tony Dungy was excellent at building players and men. Yeah, that's a good point, Craig. Yeah, Kate, it's hard to realize, you see these guys come in the league, and they're they're in their early mid-20s, and they're like grown men, and they act like grown men with their press conferences and stuff. But you got to realize these are still young guys, and they're entering a whole new professional world. They need that development. It's very rare if you get guys like the Mannings that just come in and just start popping off, The college and NFL world are two totally different things. Caleb, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. I'll write them down so I can start looking into stuff and make a somewhat guessing decision. Jaden Daniels. Who did you want, Al? Any of those three, right? But if you could pick one, who would you pick? So get May, Kiffin and Monty, and a new guard. That's what LMH thinks would work. No, Kellen Moore has not been getting mentions, have they? That would be crazy, Al, if Arch Manning doesn't turn out to be an elite quarterback. What if he just turns out to be like a backup or something? Caleb is 1, Drake is 2, Jaden is most likely our target. Okay. Well, that sounds good because I think everybody's high on Jaden Daniels in the chat.
And they just one guy. That particular play and that package and that formation, everybody's geared up. It looks like a run, and we need somebody. I mean, just collectively, one of them back-level guys got to smell it. And that separates good defenses for, middle-of-the-pack defenses or bad defenses. And we need guys to make a play. That would have been a big play. That would have been a turnover at midfield. It would have got us some momentum, but we missed that opportunity.
And he just flat out called out the secondary. He said the guys in the backfield should have read that play. Cooper Manning was a bust. Yeah. Huh. How's that even happen? The Michigan guy as head coach? Rampage? Ooh, what about the Chargers head coach? He's going to be jobless here in a little bit.
He missed those 2 preseason games with the hamstring and tried playing in the Steelers game. For a rookie who's not going to be,
Craig don't want Harbaugh either? Or are we talking about the quarterback
You would have gotten a lot of snaps.
at Michigan?
Is that something that he's kind of trying to chase?
Oh, okay, quarterback, okay.
Those snaps that were missed. And how difficult is that? Zion went through the same thing last year.
He's talking about Cervase again.
Games, but how detrimental is that for a rookie, even Kalijah?
Well, when you're a player and you got a great coach like he got, no, but we need them guys out there. Each day is big for those guys. It's TLC, tender love and care. Them guys need it. They need it. But like I said earlier, he's a smart guy. He's already ahead of the curve, in my opinion.
Rampage, where do you watch college players at in the off season? Do you got like a package or something so you can watch the games, or you start hitting the highlights on YouTube? Yeah, I have a hard time with college football, and it's mainly this. I just don't have the time. I had to cut all my sports watching down to one. It was the Buccaneers. YouTube scouting videos, okay. Yeah, that's normally what I do too. Right. Craig was in panic. He was like, no. Craig, we were talking earlier about Harbaugh. Molly really likes Harbaugh. She wants him as our head coach. That was a great game last night, LMH. I liked it. after this past week has been bad games, really. All the games on Thanksgiving were blowouts. The game Friday was a blowout. I think it was Monday night was or Sunday night was a battle of the have-nots. And then, or was that Monday night? I can't remember. And then, but last night was a pretty good game. I thought they fought each other pretty well. Yeah, and I was surprised at how good Seattle did. I really thought Dallas was going to beat up on them a little bit more than they did. Yeah, Jim, that's how I felt too. I was like, if I'm going to cut everybody out, I'm going to keep the Bucs. I can't not watch the Bucs, man. But I gave up all my sports, UFC, MMA, boxing, hockey, NASCAR. Just don't have the time for it, for all of it. Yeah, you were right, MH. I thought Dallas was going to just stomp them, but Seahawks put up a good fight. Really, how close are they, Rampage, with their draft scouting on the older guys? Since 99. What'd they say about Cadillac Williams? Yeah, too many penalties. Yeah, agree. Of course, I could say that just about any game. But then again, I complain sometimes. I'm like, there's too many penalties in this game. And then some games I'll watch and I'll be like, man, they ain't throwing any penalties. It's just a free-for-all out here. A young head coach and a new quarterback. That's what Kate wants. That's her combo. And when you say a young head coach, you're talking about a head coach that's never head coached before, or are you talking about age? Like somebody under 50? Too many commercials to watch them all, I know, right? Craig, you'd be surprised. NASCAR is a very, very... I actually did a sports breakdown. I took all the sports and I broke them into different categories, like teamwork, endurance, physical strength, speed, blah, 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 and all this. I had a huge spreadsheet, and I took every sport and labeled how, gave them a number between 1 and 5 for each category and everything, and it all came up. And I think it was hockey ended up being the number one sport, combination of all that stuff. But NASCAR was pretty much up there. NASCAR is a very, very intelligent sport, surprisingly. There's a lot of, actual like mechanics, and or it used to be this way anyhow. You were constantly engineering and the camber of the car and the downdraft and even the temperature inside the car. And it's a very complex sport in that way. And teamwork is very important. And endurance, because those guys are sitting in those cars with those fire suits on. It gets up to like 200 degrees, and they have like air conditioning systems. They can't have air conditioning systems in the car, but they've got like ventilation systems that run through their suits and everything. So they have to really be high endurance athletes. They can't take breaks. They can't use the bathroom, nothing like that. It's, generally a few hundred miles of straight up driving. It's a lot harder than it seems. Get a franchise quarterback, we should prepare for a franchise coach. There you go. I'd love to have a coach for more than, what's the longest we've had a coach? 7 years? Something like that. We just don't keep coaches, man. I look at the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Patriots, I'm just like, oh, I envy you guys. If the WWE had a football team, we would be them. Yeah, you said that yesterday, Al, and the Seahawks really, I think, kind of proved that point. They played well and made Dallas's D look almost normal. Yeah, they lose a ton of weight every race. And I used to be in the pits at NASCAR races, and these guys would get out of the car, and a lot of times they'd like kind of fall out of the car because they have to get in them. It's very difficult. They don't have doors to them, and they'd come out, and the first thing was they'd grab a Gatorade or water, and they'd chug it. They'd be covered in sweat. I even got into bowling, Craig. Bowling is surprisingly a very, very technical sport. It's got like... I agree, Kat. Belichick, Brady, Reed, Mahomes, Tomlin, Roethlisberger situation. Yeah, yeah. Has Dallas played the Eagles this year? Yep. I want to say they did. Yes, Craig. Exactly. Yeah, we should be beating the bad teams. That's one of the reasons why I liked NASCAR MH. It was really the ends justifies the means. They're like, these guys would wreck you. They will. There's all kinds of tricks. It's all about the winning, man. Eagles have walked all over Dallas. Okay. I never really got into sumo heavily, but I definitely followed it for a while. There was that American sumo wrestler. I was into him for a while. I can't remember his name. That was a while ago. But yeah, the preparation those guys go through to become sumo wrestlers, it's just ridiculous, man. I mean, they practically kill themselves to become sumo. No, Craig, seriously, bowling is a very, very technical sport. It surprised me when I got when I got into bowling and how technical it is. There's a lot to it. Okay. 28-23, is that what you're... Yeah, I don't understand cricket either. I watched soccer for a while. I was big into it when in the early 2000s when the American team was doing good. And then we went to the World Cup and actually made it through a few rounds. That was exciting. But soccer's not... Oh, and then I like rugby. Australian rules especially. The All Blacks, they're awesome. But yeah, cricket, I can't. I actually had some kids in the neighborhood who played cricket. And they tried explaining it to me, and I was just like, yeah, I don't get it. Baseball's better. The speed of the soccer games. I tell you what, soccer, those guys have incredible endurance. Incredible endurance. I mean, those fields are huge, and they run quite a few miles. Yeah, no commercials. That's why I said soccer would never catch on in America, because we love our commercials too much. We used to. And commercials are kind of a dead thing now. Americans just love commercials. Commercials used to be great. They're funny. They tell stories. Now they're all, this company's trying to save the world, and that company's trying to save the world, and like they're almost depressing. Gaelic football? No. That sounds good. I bet they beat the crap out of each other, don't they? Oh, Craig, same way. That's how I am with basketball and baseball. I can watch soccer. Actually, soccer is kind of fun to watch at a bar, because you don't really have to pay much attention to it. You get to sit around and talk most of the time. Just kind of keep an eye in the corner. Keep a corner of your eye open on the TV. But yeah, baseball and basketball. Love to play. Can't stand to watch either one of them. So boring. They put me to sleep. I'm like, where can I watch that at, Kate? Gaelic football. I'm going to write that down. Let's see, you're going to get me into more sports. As I'm sitting here talking about, I had to give up all these sports because I just don't have the time. It's going to be your fault, Kate. You're going to have to deal with Molly. She's going to be like, what are you watching this for? I'm like, Kate recommended it.
But the more snaps, the more days, the better.
LMH, that's when I got into hockey, was when Fox got the contract to broadcast the games, and they started doing that highlighting puck. And I could finally follow the puck. And then I just got to where, they stopped doing it after a couple of years, but now I could follow the puck. I was like, oh, hey, check it out. But if you're not used to it, you can't see that puck. They got the black sticks or tape on the sticks, and it goes so fast, and it's all over the place. It took me a while to get used to following the puck. Fox did a great thing with that, and then they stopped doing it. Oh, so you're going with the Bucs winning, Al? You say 2017? Panthers sucks. Okay. All right. I'm putting it down. I'm changing your 90-5 score. $2017 Bucs. Well, I hope you are correct, Al. Which you have been, but I want you to be too correct. If you keep winning this, everybody's going to stop playing. You got to kick it through the goalpost. So it's kind of like rugby, huh? Women's field hockey is fun to watch. Hey, what's up, Zach? Just in time. We're getting ready to head out. Yeah, it started at 6. Oh, you didn't get a notification? I think if we lose, we might even move up a draft spot. $28.6 Bucs. Dang. Kate's feeling good. She got confidence. All right. If you don't have your predictions in, put them in. Yeah, 90-5 score for the Panthers. Hey, we'll see, man. It could it could happen.
Better
Let me
off
finish this
for
press
him.
conference,
A
then
lot
we'll,
of young
we'll wrap
guys
this
getting
up.
snaps. That's going to help us down the road.
Carolina's had a slew of injuries at guard. They'll be on like their 6th or 7th starter at guard on
70-28.
You guys kind of had a similar situation with Houston earlier in the year. Is it that a good offensive line can kind of hide a single vulnerability and just still be a solid unit? What makes it hard to take advantage of an opportunity like that?
Well, we don't know those guys who's filling in. We don't have enough tape on them. That can be an advantage for them, but at this point of the season, we just so desperate for a win. You line up, it doesn't matter. I didn't play guys off the street. Guys just got off the couch and played and did a good job. This is all pros. It's so much
You're on the board, Jim.
Personnel out here in this league that find these guys that can be able to play. I think guys need to really focus on their assignment, and we desperate. We got to win it. And I don't care if Larry Allen roll out there or Joe Smo off the couch. We got to win.
You know, this time of year, I mean, this is difficult on coaches, right? There's a lot of chatter, and I know you guys are kind of in the bunker just trying to win a game. But how do you avoid, how does Todd Bowles react? What's the chatter among the coaches when you know what's at stake and that the 6 out of 7 has to end and you're kind of running out of opportunities?
He was asking how are the coaches dealing with this losing, and how's the Bulls reacting? They're trying to get some insight on Bulls.
This the culture of the league.
Thanks for stopping by, Kate. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up here after this this press conference. Appreciate you hanging out. Hopefully we'll see you Monday for Victory Monday. Yeah, have a good weekend, Kate.
Been in this league a long time. If you
MH,
get caught up in that, you haven't been paying attention. And we do understand winning solves everything, and that's what we're concentrating on.
You're changing your score? You said 2024 Panthers earlier. So you went 31-28?
He's a talented guy. I understand that nature of that position. It get lonely out there on that island, and you can have some rough days. One thing that was glaring, he probably had one of the hardest hits probably on the team. It was so loud towards our sideline that fired everybody up. So it was good to see that, and hopefully he keep moving in the right direction.
Who hit
everybody up? So it was good to see that. And he probably had one of the hardest hits probably on the. I understand that nature of that position. It get lonely out there on that island, and you can have some rough days. One thing that was glaring, he probably had one of the hardest hits probably on the team. It was so loud towards our sideline that fired everybody up. So
I didn't catch who he was talking about.
And hopefully he keep moving in the right
I changed
direction.
to MH. Kalijah Cansey. That's what he's asking.
What do you like about his game and the growth?
Asking what he likes about Cansey's game.
Well, he's talented. I'm quite sure you guys in the offseason heard the Aaron Donald comparison, and I know they both went to Pitt, but he was on the board. He was on a lot of teams' draft board. He was a talented guy. He had tons of tape. You always hesitant because he's a little small, and, since we got him, we knew how tough he is. We knew his pedigree, good high school, him, Levante David, the great Northwestern. So he loves ball. And the encouraging thing, when you watch him, he's a pro. He likes football. And when you're evaluating these guys, you get a lot of input, but when you finally see when he get on campus that he loves ball, you kind of like, good, now let's get him coached up.
Nobody cares if you're injured, right? But Devin White obviously has been playing on a bad foot. We talked to him after the game on that.
Asking about Devin White and his bad foot.
Touchdown where he just, that illustrated how it's tough for him to stop playing and get back. As a player, like how, you're getting all kinds of criticism, but you're out there for your teammates. So I know it's your job, but by the same token, you're not 100%. How do you battle that as a player to know that, well, I'm needed, but I can't be what I usually am?
He's asking if Levante David or Devin White should sit out because of his foot, basically. You basically just said when you've been here a long time, you don't worry about it. That's not a good answer.
He got to be honest with himself. Sometimes as coaches, we got to protect him from him, but Sunday you got to make plays. Everybody's hurt. He knows that. He's fighting. Nobody's never going to question that. Since he's been here, we know he's played hurt and banged up. But on Sunday, he demands it. I demand it. Everybody, the fan base, football itself, we got to make plays.
Anything else? All right, thanks very much.
Thank you, guys.
Except the Eagles. Yeah, the Vikings. Love those answers. Those are the kind of answers I want more of when we win a team. When we win, I like those answers. Hey. It was a great start to the season. It really was. Same thing happened last year. Last year we came out balling. Remember that Dallas? We just beat the mess out of them in week 1. I thought for sure. I was like, oh, we could win another Super Bowl. Yeah, 49ers, understandable. They didn't beat us up as much as they did last year, or as they could have. They really took their foot off the gas, I thought. Colts, no, yeah. Agreed. Houston, definitely should have won that game. Atlanta, definitely should have won that game. Detroit, yeah, they're a good team. So I'll give them that one. But we've lost to some bad teams, and we haven't looked good. That's the bad part. That's the thing. We're playing bad football. It's not like we're out there, losing close games by, field goal in the last second. We're out there playing bad football against bad and good teams. Yeah, definitely should have beat Atlanta. Atlanta was the worst one. I agree. That one hurt the soul. That was when I was like, oh no, our season is not going to turn out well. Not like I was hoping. But, again, I came into this offseason with low expectations. Came into the preseason with low expectations. Got excited during the preseason because I saw what Dave was doing. And we saw some interesting stuff, and we were playing good. And then we come out, and then my expectations went through the roof. And then we started off whooping everybody, expectations through the roof. So now it's back down to where it was at preseason or before the preseason. It's like, I'm like, oh man, we're not even going to beat the Panthers. Yeah, Ritter. I know, that's right. That's all you got to say, Ritter. We got beat by Ritter. Yeah, they were the much better team in that game. That was the scary part. Yeah. Right. We all kind of expected the offense to struggle, but the defense blowing a gasket every game like this is just really making you go, what? Yeah, I didn't think we were going to beat the Vikings. But then when we did, man, my expectations went through the roof. I was like, oh, man, we are good. Yeah, that's a good point, Rampage. Which, to his credit, we have had a top 10 defense for a long time since he's been here. It's just since he's became a head coach. Yeah. I agree, Craig. Yeah, our defense is nowhere near as good as it should be. Especially seeing as a lot of these guys have been playing in this system for, ever since Bulls got here, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. What is this? 2019, 2022, 5 years. 5 years. They should know this system inside and out. There shouldn't be these simple mistakes. I think, the bad tackling, I hate. We had bad tackling last year, had bad tackling this year. I mean, that's fundamental stuff. These guys have been doing this their whole lives. They should be tackling. Yeah. Yeah, 100%, Craig. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hear babies crying, and I'm hungry. Going to have leftovers, pot pies. So, all right. It seems like we're all kind of split on the Panthers-Buccaneers game. I just don't have any faith in the Buccaneers right now, and until they prove otherwise, I'm going to be picking the other team from here on out until the Buccaneers show me something. Just bad football. Hopefully, Al, I hope you're right. I hope the Buccaneers win this one. And if so, we'll have victory Monday. If not, we'll have therapy Monday. MH is wanting Kiffin. I'm cool with that. Yeah. The Vikings toward the end of Zimmer's tenure. Yeah, Rampage. Yeah, you're 100%. Because, man, yeah, he had – that defense was crushing it when he was there. But then towards the last couple of years, it just collapsed. You too, Craig. Have a good Sunday, man. And we shall see you guys Monday. Hope everybody can make it. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Till next time, go Bucs.